Hi, this is Shadi, and today it's a history lesson on the origins of the technique called the Darce choke. It is a fairly modern and recent technique. It has been developed in the late 90s, but before I start this video, I just want to give thanks and credit to the Darce Knight on Reddit for, first of all, suggesting me this topic, but also providing me with all the references needed for this video. Now all I had to do was just compile, cut up, edit, and narrate, so all thanks truly goes out to him. Now the Darce choke is fairly like the Kimura. It has multiple origins. You can see it in pancratio, you can see it in catch, you can see it in judo, double wrist lock, hammer lock, udegarami, gyaku udegarami, the Kimura lock, same with the heel hook or the kata ashi hishigi. So it's a technique that was first developed in 1998 by a German luta livre wrestler by the name of Bjorn. He's the one that the earliest footage of the technique being used was by him. You can see him here in front of you, Bjorn Lagerstrom. So here you can see in 2001 in the ADCC, Bjorn was fighting, and it was the first time that it was ever recorded in this battle. You can see here he's setting it up almost and getting it, and it caught everyone by surprise when it was first starting to emerge on the scene. So in 1998 he claims to have invented it, and here it's 2001, 3 years later, using it and getting the tap. So around the year 2001, a young blue belt by the name of John Danaher claimed to have been working on the same choke, calling it the inverted kata gatame. Kata gatame, if you don't know, it's an old judo pin you are seeing here in front of you. It's basically an arm triangle, but you put your knee right to the hip in order to prevent them from escaping. You can use it either as a choke or a pin. John Danaher, however, there's no video evidence of him ever working it. However, his training partner Sean Williams agrees or just testifies that he was his training partner while he was working on it, and he tried it on him, so we can take his word for it if you want. He used it mainly in order to combat guard players as you are passing and they resort to underhooks, so you can finish it, and he called it the inverted kata gatame. You can see it's a very old school judo pin. Here you can see Kyuzo Mifune demonstrating it, but reversed or inverted in order to combat guard players. Now this was transmitted from John Danaher to Joe Darce, who was famously became known for it. Here you can see in 2001, Mark Clayman was the instructor of Bill Cooper and telling him that, you know, giving him instructions while competing, as do all coaches, and he was instructing him, saying Darce him, as you will see in the near footage. I will play the clip and you will hear him giving the instructions in order to, you know, make his student win. It's a important part in the history of this choke because it sheds a lot of light, even though it's just a small moment.
Clear his leg, go for that knee kick. Got the Darce. That's the Darce. There you go. Pass, slide through under him. Slide through. Darce. Lock it. Shit, right there. Now get your leg out. Stay right there. Good job, guys.
Now it's important to note that Mark Clayman first intended the term Darce as the flip or the turnover in order to get the choke, but not the choke itself. He used it as a reference as a turnover, because when someone turtles or when you escape side control or when you sprawl, this is where you need to turn them over in order to get the choke. So he used the term darsing someone as the turnover rather than the choke itself. So here you can listen yourself.
Works best when you go for the Darce and the guy defends by sticking his head up. Because if he doesn't stick his head up really strong, I just simply Darce him down. And then I can lock in his choke. Okay? So now when I go for this, I lock it up, the guy's smart, starts sticking his head.
So as you saw here, he was referencing the term darsing as a turnover and then, finishing off with the choke. It's a very interesting part of it. I don't know how the Darce Knight caught it, but it's very interesting. So it has multiple names and origins, as you've seen. You've seen, first of all, Bjorn in Germany, Luta Livre, and you've seen John Danaher with the inverted katagatame, and then Mark Lehman, the founder of Cobra Kai Jiu-Jitsu in Las Vegas. And here you see like Joe Darce, referring to Joe Darce as the verb itself, darsing someone. Now, Mark Lehman himself has a variation of it, calling it the Mad Darce or the Mars, where it is both used as kind of like a guillotine / neck crank / Darce choke. Here you can see inside control demonstrating it, and then getting top position and then using it as a neck crank and choke as well. So it's a nice variation, a far more effective and dangerous variation of it, I might say. So here you can see demonstrating it, getting the top and then pushing with the leg in order to getting the crank and the tap. And it's a far more effective and just lethal way of putting it. So the Mad Darce, also credits to Mark Lehman. And finally, the final destination where it originated. And the final piece of the puzzle is Shinya Aoki, is the one that invented it all the way in the East in Japan. So again, like multiple techniques, it has multiple origins, and here you can see he like immediately got it and got the tap. So like the Kimura, like many other techniques, hip tosses, etc., this technique is no different, having multiple origins. And Shinya Aoki demonstrating it in Japan. You have John Danaher, you have in Luta Livre in Germany, Bjorn. So it's a very interesting technique to learn and have multiple like roots and origins to it. So once again, thanks for the Darce Knight on Reddit for compiling and doing the research. All I had to do was just present it. If you have anything else to add or another technique request, share it down below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.
ここでニーンザベリーの点数を得て、相手が内側に逃げてくるところをスピニングチョークに仕掛けます。相手が逃げてきたところをスピニングチョークを狙っています。相手は私の方に逃げるしかなく、しっかりと腕を巻きスピニングチョークが入ります。自分の二頭筋を持つようにし、相手の首をひねり決めに行きます。この時点ではまだ決まっていません。深く深く右手を差し入れ、相手をしっかりと決めています。しっかりとクラッチが組めたとき決まっています。ギグラップリングの決勝戦です。オースト狩りからテイクダウンをし、そのまま右手を差し入れて決めています。テイクダウンからすぐに決めています。 カンペオナートの黒帯目上級1回戦ペドロ・アキラ選手との試合です。テイクダウンから右手を差し入れ、まず形を作ります。道着を着ているためスムーズには入らず、何回か組み直しています。相手選手が指を掴んでいるのでレフェリーが1回試合を止めています。そこでしっかりとクラッチを組みましたが、まだ深く入っていないため1回自分から下になり右手を深く入れることを選びます。自分から下になり右手を深く入れます。深く入ったところで起き上がり、相手を返すことを狙います。ここで相手を返し締めます。